Welcome to Garden Rewards, and if you're new here, my name is Wendy, so welcome to the channel.
So we've had a lot of rain at the moment, and obviously the weather is changing. We've got 2 days of nice weather, so yesterday I decided to cut the lawn, not on the highest setting, on the medium setting, so there's still a nice 2 inches of good thick green grass, looks just like a carpet, until the weather does change and more rain is on the forecast. I have 2 of these lovely containers outside my kitchen doorway with the acacia trees in and these lovely white begonias, and I'm just trying to enjoy the last of the flowers, and I don't really want to pull them out yet because they're 50-50 of half of these lovely white blooms and half going to seed. But in their place are going to go these lovely cyclemen that are going to look lovely in them, but I'm really trying to enjoy the last of the flowers before I have to pull them out.
Now, you may have noticed that the shops and the garden centres are starting to get their spring bulbs in, and I've decided to stock up on mine. The colour scheme for spring is going to be yellow and white. I've done dual colours, I did last year. I've done burnt oranges and I've done pinks, but I've come to a point where I've missed having yellow in the garden. So I've decided to go for yellow tulips and maybe white daffodils, and maybe a pop of colour here and there, nothing of great significance. The only colour maybe is obviously with the cyclamen that I've bought and any other little plants that I've got for the pots. But mainly in the garden is going to be yellow and white, with maybe a hint of blue. And obviously a little pop of white coming in is obviously the snowdrops. So I've got 2 packets of those so far. And one of the little pops of blue is going to be the muscari, a very delicate little flower for pots. So it's just going to add just a little bit of colour here and there, and I think a pop of blue with the yellow and white will look absolutely beautiful.
So while the roses are still blooming, there's still deadheading to be done. There are buds there waiting to open, and it just keeps it all in check. And of course some tidying up needs to be done on the bearded iris. This variety is called Indian Chief, and the blooms are tones of brown and gold on this one. Absolutely beautiful flowers, but I do fear they will need to be divided next year because they are getting quite big. But I do feel a sense of achievement now, getting it all tidied up, ready for the autumn. And just taking off some of the lupins that have gone to seed. They've done really well this year. Now this is Jacob's ladder that has finished flowering. I don't want to cut it right down, it is a perennial. I just want to tidy it up rather than cut it right down, otherwise I'm going to leave gaps in my borders. And I just think it's still nice to look at, and I just want to trim it down. It is getting slightly out of hand, and I didn't really expect them to grow this big. But they have looked really lovely, and the bees have liked them. So I'm just tidying them up now. The verbenas in the garden have seen better days. This variety is called F1 Apricot, and it's time it was pulled out. The petunia there wasn't planted, it's obviously self-seeded itself, and I've just enjoyed it. But the verbenas are not really flowering much now, and it's time they were all pulled out. They are getting quite leggy. So here I'm doing more pruning on the Jacob's ladder. So just keeping it all tidied up and just still letting it stay there and just enjoying it where it is. It's the lovely green leaves on this plant, but starting to go yellow now. The weather's changing. The Nemesia has been blooming its socks off. This one is called Wisely Vanilla, and it's looking absolutely beautiful, and I'm keeping this in as long as possible to enjoy it. It's a lovely filler for the borders, and its scent is absolutely lovely as well. I've recently cut the echinacea down because I had to put the support round, it was getting quite big, but it's still producing some lovely little buds and the bees adore it. So that's staying for a little while longer, and it is a perennial. As you can hear, the wind is starting to pick up because there is rain forecast, and obviously all the neighbours are starting to mow their lawn as well for the imminent rain which is due tomorrow. So everyone is scrambling around trying to get their gardens prepared. And this week is the garden waste collection day, so everybody wants to get their bins filled ready for collection tomorrow. This is one plant I'm so glad I added it to the borders. It's called Primula vialii, and I do love how their little flowers stick out of the borders like little fireworks, but they do self-seed, but it's looking absolutely fantastic. So I spotted this little caterpillar munching on the leaves, so he was picked up and put over the fence and relocated in the entry. You can always tell when the season's coming to an end because all the tips of the leaves are starting to go yellow, and the garden is starting to look tired now. It's been blooming early this year, even the roses bloomed a month earlier than they needed to. Because it's been so mild, but we have to tidy up the garden and prepare it for the autumn coming and when we start planting the bulbs.
Thank you for watching. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.